Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first video of 2018. Today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes. So a lot has changed since I filmed this video in September. I know that the original one was not filmed too long ago, but I've gotten so many new eyeshadow palettes first of all, so a lot has changed. But of course I've also kind of reorganized, reprioritized, and just reevaluated what my top 10 favorites are. So yeah, my top 10 are very different from the last video, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And two of them I'm actually wearing on my eyes today. So let's get right into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, let's start off with my number one favorite. And I'm sorry, please excuse the kind of phlegmy sound in my voice. I am very sick right now, and I'm just trying to power through this video, so please excuse my voice. It'll probably get back to normal in the next video, but yeah. So number one actually has not changed since the last video. It is the same, and it is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I actually just talked about this in my 2017 favorites video and also my eyeshadow palette collection video. You guys know how much I love this palette. I talk about it all the time on my channel, and this is really just one of the best palettes that's ever been created in my opinion, but definitely the best of 2017. Here are the colors. As you can see, it's a very colorful palette, but you do have a good array of warm neutral shades in here. Overall, I just think it's a really versatile palette, and the quality in here is out of this world. These are very pigmented, extremely blendable, and overall I just get so much use out of this one. I even reach for it when I'm using another palette on my eyes, but I just want a good color that I know is going to be amazing quality and just work the way exactly that I want it to. So I'm actually wearing the shade Soda Pop and Buns on my eyes. Yes, I did memorize all the shades in this palette. I'm actually using those on my eyes today in conjunction with another palette that I'm going to mention later in this video. But I really love this palette so much. It's just one of the best in my entire collection and definitely my number one favorite. So definitely recommend this one. It's never going to come out of my top 10 favorites and really love this. So Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, it's $35 for 38 shades. 100% recommend. Cannot recommend this enough. Go buy it. Alright, so next up, I just want to mention these palettes are not in any particular order. I did mention Morphe Jaclyn Hill as my number one because it is my number one favorite, but the rest of the palettes are just top 10 favorites. None of them are in particular order. So next one I want to mention is the ColourPop Dream Street palette with Kathleen Lights. This I did not expect to be in my top 10 favorites so quickly because I've only had this for about a month, but I have used this non-stop. I did take this on vacation with me over winter break, so I use this basically every day. And I've used every single shade in here. And I do have pretty much all of the other ColourPop Pressed Powder Shadow palettes, but this one is beyond the quality of those. This one is so much better in quality than the other ones. Those are still good, but this one is amazing. I think they could have honestly charged like $35. This is a very expensive feeling quality palette, but they charged $16 for this, which is the same as other ColourPop palettes. So I'm very glad that they did not end up hiking up the price because that would have just been really kind of sad, you know? But all the colors in here are beautiful. They perform so beautifully. All of them perform just the way I want them to. The shade in here that stands out most to me is this shade here called Water Bear. It's a beautiful matte teal, like kind of turquoise blue shade, and this is super pigmented, but it blends out so well. So I just love the quality of this palette. I think it's amazing. It's only $16, and obviously the packaging is beautiful, but I think Kathleen did a really amazing job with this palette. It's very unique. There's not a lot of palettes that you see coming out like this one, so I'm very glad that she came out with this one. I think it's amazing, and it's really beautiful, so definitely recommend this one. Of course, I cannot recommend it enough, but this has made its way into my top 10 favorites, and I really love it. So this is actually my number two favorite palette in my entire collection, but this is the next one I want to mention, and I don't think this will ever come out of my top 10 favorites because it's truly one of the best palettes to ever be made. My Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. You guys know how special this one is to me. It just holds such a place in my heart. First of all, because of the colors. These are very amazing warm tone shades. You do have a lot of nice neutrals in here though, so if you're wanting to create a nice neutral look, you got Tempera, Raw Sienna, Golden Ochre, Burnt Orange, and then you have Cypress Umber, Warm Taupe, Realgar. So those are really beautiful like warm neutral shades to create a nice neutral look, but you also have the beautiful berry tone shades like Love Letter and Venetian Red. These just perform so beautifully on the eyes. I think Anastasia really just revolutionized the eyeshadow game when she came out with this palette, because before then all the warm neutral palettes had been like the Morphe 35O, which was orange. This one just kind of put its spin on things and really became an instant classic. So I love this palette whenever I want a really amazing eyeshadow look, and when I just want something that I know is going to work out, I go for this palette because it's never let me down. Every single look I've created with this one, I fall in love. And I don't think I've ever seen a bad review on this palette, so definitely recommend this one. It is $45, available at Sephora. I love everything about this palette. I love every single shade in here, and it's just one of the best palettes ever to be created. So this is number two in my collection, right behind the Jaclyn Hill palette. I just think that one does have more color, so I reach for it more often. But this one is definitely amazing, probably one of the best palettes ever, And yeah, I love this one so much. So definitely in my top 10. So I know I said that the palettes aren't in any particular order, but I am doing a number 1, 2, and 3. So 1 was Morphe Jekyll and Hill, 2 was the Anastasia Modern Renaissance, but number 3 has to be my Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. This is one of my favorite palettes ever, and I'm actually wearing it on my eyes today. I just love the dreamy color scheme of this palette. I think she did such an amazing job with laying out the colors in here, just creating a really beautiful, cohesive color story. I'm actually wearing some of the purples on my eyes today, so Amethyst, Royal, and Twilight are all on my eyes. I did do this look with the Morphe Jekyll and Hill palette and the shades I mentioned in that one. This palette is extremely expensive. It is $65 for 18 shades, so pretty pricey, but I do think it's worth it just because the shades in here are amazing. I mean, not only do you get so much variety and have so many different looks you can create with this one, I just think she put together some amazing quality eyeshadows, and it just really tells a story that's so inspiring. So I really love the mattes in here. They're very blendable but buildable, so you can just blend them out and diffuse them really nicely onto the eyes. I also really like the shimmers in here. They're very foil, but I think the real star of the show here is the 2 duochromes, Twilight and Retrograde, and then the glitter here called Cosmo. Those shades really make the entire palette worth it. The money is a lot, but I think it's really worth the splurge because of that. So this is a really amazing palette. I honestly just reach for this all the time, and I'm so glad that I bought this palette because I use it all the time, and the colors just really inspire me. So that's what I look for in a palette, and I think this is an amazing buy. So really love this one, definitely in my top 10. So next up, I have the most expensive palette in my entire collection, but I really do love this palette. It's amazing quality. This is my Pat McGrath Mothership palette, and this was $125. I can't even say that with a straight face because I honestly can't believe that I bought this palette. It's so expensive, but I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, I need that. So this one is Mothership number 2 in Sublime, and I really love the colors in here. As you can see, you've got a nice, beautiful emerald green in here. The gold is really, really amazing, very foiled. But these are just some of the best shadows I've ever used. Probably the best quality formula I've ever used in my life. The black and the matte brown in here blend out like nothing. They're just buttery, smooth, beautiful, pigmented, everything you would want in a palette. And then the shimmers in here are super foiled and just gorgeous. So this is a very unique palette. I don't have any kind of color scheme like this one. Is it worth the money? I can't really say. I don't think anything is worth $125 in terms of makeup, but this palette is amazing. It's very high quality. It's super, super weighty, and I just really wanted to support Pat McGrath. She's an iconic black makeup artist, and she is just really one of the trailblazers of the beauty industry, so I really want to support her brand. I think she just creates amazing things. She's an artist. I'm actually wearing one of her lipsticks today, also very expensive. But yeah, if this entire clip wasn't just me gushing about Pat McGrath, I don't know what else is. So this is a really amazing palette, definitely in my top 10 favorites, not only because it's super amazing quality, but just because the entire aesthetic of this palette just feels luxurious and beautiful. So I love this palette so much. It's super expensive, but in my opinion, worth it. Alright, so my next favorite that I want to mention is actually a custom palette that I made. I don't like to mention custom palettes that I've made in my videos just because you can't really get it unless you go out and buy all the shades that I have. But I really had to mention this one because I reach for it so often, and this is my ColourPop custom palette with my ColourPop singles in here. The only one that is not from ColourPop is this one here. It's Enchanted by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and honestly, this is the best shadow ever. I love this one so much. So whenever I want to make a nice purple look, I go for this one just because the shades in here are amazing. And ColourPop shadows are $5 each, so not super expensive. However, if you do buy a lot of them, I have 10 shades in here, it will add up. So this was about a $50 eyeshadow palette, which is kind of crazy. But you do get a lot of product, and the quality of these is amazing. They're very blendable, super pigmented. And if you like single shadows, I think you would really love ColourPops. So I'm just going to go through the shades in here. One here is the Anastasia Beverly Hills shade in Enchanted. ColourPop Get Out, ColourPop Pinky Promise, ColourPop Silver Lining, ColourPop High Strung, ColourPop Too Much, ColourPop Little Boat, ColourPop Sidetracked, ColourPop Take It Slow, and then ColourPop Glass Bowl. So I love all the shades in here. I don't really talk about single shadows a lot on my channel, but these are really, really good, and I love this palette so much. So I could not go through this video without talking about it because I do reach for it very often, and I love my ColourPop single shadows. So this is the Tartelette Bloom palette from Tarte. This is probably another one of the best palettes ever created. These are some of the best neutral shades I've ever worked with, and I'm not normally a fan of Tarte's eyeshadows. I find them to be kind of dry in pigmentation and not as creamy as the Modern Renaissance ones. But these ones in here, for whatever reason, are just so good. They're very pigmented. The blend is sublime on these, and I really just love this palette so much. So if you're wanting to try out any eyeshadows from Tarte, I definitely recommend this one. If you're wanting a good neutral color palette and that you would really use these colors, again, recommend this one. Overall, it's just one of my favorites in my collection. I reach for it a lot, and whenever I need a nice, good neutral color, I reach for this one. So really love this palette so much. So next up in the favorites is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Master Palette by Mario. I did talk about this one in my other video. I think I did talk about this one in my old version of this video, and I still love this one. It's one of my favorite neutral palettes once again. But this one has a lot more shimmers in here, so this is a very effortless palette to create a good look with. And I find that Mario has a really simple makeup aesthetic, but he finds a way to make these beautiful neutral colors just pop on the eyes and look amazing. So I really like mimicking his makeup style with this palette. I think there's so many beautiful colors in here. I really like the shade Kim and Fifth Avenue. These are just gorgeous, super soft, super buttery shadows. And I'm super sad because this is limited edition. You know that Anastasia Beverly Hills and Mario are thinking about collaborating again. So if they come out with a Master Palette Part 2, I will die. But this is a really amazing palette, and I just love this one. So it's definitely in my top 10 favorites. Next up is a palette from Too Faced, and I don't really like a lot of their eyeshadow palettes, but this one is one of my favorites. Too Faced Just Peachy Matte's palette. I did buy this in September or October last year, but this has been one of my favorites. I did recommend it in my 2017 favorites video, and these are very pigmented, super blendable. Probably one of the best things that Too Faced has ever come out with, in my opinion, because I'm not really impressed with the quality of their eyeshadows normally, but these are very blendable. They just work so beautifully, and I think Too Faced really hit it out of the park. And these are matte, they blend super well, they're very pigmented, and overall just work the way a $45 eyeshadow palette should work. If you like the peach smell or you just really like the colors in here, definitely recommend this one. So the final palette that I want to talk to you guys about is actually probably the most affordable one in this video. It is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's a $10 palette, and this is the Matte for Matte Holy Smokes. So this is the Matte for Matte 3, and honestly, I do love the Matte for Matte 2, but I reach for the Too Faced one so much more because it's kind of similar colors. This one, though, I find very unique, and I reach for it a lot. It's a smoky palette, and I don't normally go for cool tones, but this one I find kind of puts a fun spin on cool tones, because I wouldn't expect e.l.f. to come out with two super bright, super pigmented, like teal blue shadows, but they work so beautifully. Very blendable, extremely pigmented. And then I really like the mixture of neutral browns in here just to kind of balance out the look. So overall, I really do reach for this a lot whenever I want a nice, beautiful, like kind of cool tone, but also not cool tone look. Whenever I'm wanting a good smoky look, I will go for this palette. I think it's amazing quality. I think definitely worth more than $10, and would definitely recommend this one. So this has made its way into my top 10 favorites as well, and yeah, that concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes are. I really had a fun time filming this video, even though I am extremely sick and I just kind of want to go lie down and drink some soup right now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments below what your favorite palettes are. Subscribe to my channel. Definitely go follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see makeup looks that I post. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Goodbye.